This video is going to take off where we left off in class talking about flipbook animation. It's going to cover the flipbook animation in Photoshop project that we talked about in class. You can see the frame rate here is changing 120, 30 frames per second. And you can see that on each piece, I'm just going to pause it for a moment there, that on every single frame, the image is changing just slightly as we talked about in class. So to begin this in Photoshop, I'm just going to close out of this for a moment. We go into Photoshop. This just reviews and covers that first project in animation for the flipbook in Photoshop. We're going to open up an image, and you're going to find an image online. Again, this is a simple project just to begin and show you how to use the timeline in Photoshop. So once you have the image set up in Photoshop and you open it up in Photoshop, we're not even going to make a brand new file. We're going to keep the original file here. When you do find it, please be sure to find an image that is large. So for example, you're going to go to Google. You're going to go to Images. Once you go there, you're going to type in what you're looking for. So if I was looking for this image of Shaq, I would go to Images. I would go to Tools. Make sure I go to Size, larger than 1024, or I can go even higher. Then from there, this would be a good one. I could click, then I could click View Image, and then I would drag that to my desktop, or in your case, to your folder. After you've done that, you're going to then open that image. So here's the image, and you can tell the difference. This one was not as clear. This one that I just grabbed, much better. We're going to right click, open with Photoshop. So you're going to do the same thing for the image that you choose. And then from there, you're going to go to your layers. Now, first step, we're going to be sure that we make a selection around this. Now it's easy because it's white on the background, right? I'm going to hold shift, grab those two pieces in the background. I'm going to do a select inverse. So now it's just grabbing Shaq's head. I'm going to then right click, layer via copy. And you see that he's just cut out onto layer 1 all by himself without the background. So this is where I'm going to start, layer 1 right here. Now what you're going to do to layer 1 is take it, copy it, and then on this first copy, you're going to make a change. What kind of change can you make? Well, first of all, you can do an edit, free transform change. So you could right click, warp, perspective, distort, skew, rotate, scale, any of that stuff would be fine. What else could I do? I could go to image adjustments and do any kind of highlight or color change using any of these settings here as well. And the last and final new piece that we talked about in class was using the liquify tool here. So if you go to filter and liquify, when this comes up on the side here, we talked about how this tool, the forward warp tool, will actually move pixels around like that. I'm going to undo. You can increase the size or decrease the size and pressure of the brush here. This one will bring it back. It will kind of reconstruct anything that you've messed up at that point. You can smooth things out. You can twirl things. You can pucker, similar to this. Like if I go to pucker, just to give you an example. If I click, 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 you see it's sucking it kind of in. If I want to reconstruct it, I go back to the reconstruct tool, brings it back to the way that it was. This is the bloat tool, so you can kind of bloat out any pieces that you want. And again, you can reconstruct and get back. The one down here that we talked about in class was the face tool. And if you click on the face tool, when you go on the face, now you see these little buttons, and you can kind of twist, turn, pull, drag, and it goes through the nose, the mouth, the face. All of these pieces can be messed with. So each one, you're going to make a slight change, not too much. If you go too much, it's going to look too fake too quickly. We're going to hit OK. So you'll notice the difference between this one and that one. Layer 1 and layer 1 copy. Then I'm going to take layer 1 copy that one, and now I'm going to go to filter again, go back to liquify, and now I make another change. So maybe I'll extend the head up a little, I'll pull the nose in a little, I'll pull the mouth down a little, I'll increase the size of the eyes a little, I'll go to the pucker tool and maybe pucker in that piece, and I'm going to hit OK. Right? So now I have 1, 2, 3, right? And you can continue like that. Copy again, go up to filter, down to liquify. You can also then go to some of your adjustments like we spoke about before. I can go to color balance, take this color balance, start to mess with the color a little bit, hit OK, and then continue to do those things each time, right? Make a little bit of an adjustment. Maybe I'll do a little bloat, and I'll bloat out the lips a little bit, or the eyeball. Alright, then I'm going to copy that one more time. So I'm just going to do about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in total, and then we will show you how to animate it. After you've done 5 or so or more, you'll be ready to animate as well. You need for your project at least 15. If you have 20, 25, even better. All right. Filter, liquify. Same tools again. Face tool. Face is not detected. That one. That one. Okay, very good. So, from here, what are we going to do? We are going to go to Window, Timeline. Timeline is going to pop up like this. When you see the timeline, I'm just going to pull it here at the bottom so you can see a little better. You'll see in the middle it says Create Frame Animation. If you hit the little arrow, you can go to Video Timeline or Frame Animation. We're going to stay with Frame Animation, and then we're going to click the word Create Frame Animation one time. You see that it throws in the first frame that we're on right now. But actually what I want to do with this is go over to the corner and say Make Frames from Layers. And you see it spits across here the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one. All right? And if I was to play this, hit the little play button down here on the timeline, plays through those layers that it spit out onto the timeline. Right now they're playing them one time. If you click, you can do 3 times or forever. And then if you do forever and you hit it, it's just going to keep going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Right? Now, can you get more technical than this? Can you do more things? Of course you can. You can always take a layer, copy it, right, like we did before. Maybe this time we'll do an edit and turn the eyeball on, sorry. Edit, free transform. Maybe I resize this a little bit and start to, and start to turn it just slightly. Then I can copy again. Command T, same thing. Make it a little smaller. Start to rotate it a little bit. We'll do it again. Copy the layer. Command T. Make it a little smaller. Start to rotate it again. Right? Now, if I go down here, you see that the timeline has changed. So in order for you to update the timeline, go back over to the corner, delete animation, go back, make frames from layers, and you'll see the changes start to happen. So if I do forever, you see the change that it starts to make. All right? If you want the highest grade possible on this project, the only additional thing to do is to take something else and put it in here. So for example, if I go online and I type in a basketball, and I find that basketball, right? And I open that basketball up, and I drag that basketball in. You see it's at the top layer now. I'm going to do Command T, and I'm going to resize it holding Shift from the bottom. I'll use the magic wand tool, click on the white, get rid of the white, hit delete, then do Command D to get rid of those selections. And now you see that I've added a new element to this, right? It's all faces are on the layers here, and then I have the ball at the top. So what could I do with this ball? Well, maybe I'm going to put it behind the first layer, and I'll make it a little smaller. And let's say that all I want this to do is come across behind his head all the way to the bottom corner. So how would I do that? I would copy it and move it down a little bit, and copy it and move it down a little bit, and do the same thing over and over. What I want to try to do is match up and get as many of these as I have. I'm going to hide the picture of Shaq for a second. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 frames of Shaq's face. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames of the ball. So I'm going to separate these a little bit. I'm going to make this one a little further down. Okay. So the first one's going to go here a little bit further. Second one's going to go here a little bit further. Third one here. Fourth one. Right? And now all I need is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 4 more to get to the bottom. So make a copy. Pull down another one. Make a copy. That's good. Good. I think one more. Okay. So basically, I'm just going to reposition them a little bit. I have 8 that make it all the way from the top to the bottom. And you see them here in the layers panel. It's going to start looking a little confusing because you're going to have a lot of layers, right? All these balls and then the faces on top. Now we want to try to combine them, because what happens now is if you go to the timeline and you hit delete animation and then you reset the animation by making the frames from the layers, you're going to have the balls coming out and then the face, and then the balls coming out and then the face. But if we want them to happen at the same time, we have to combine layers. So what do I mean? I mean you have to turn on layer 2 here at the bottom, then turn on the first layer of his face, right? Not this one, just the first one. Okay, so just this one and and just the first ball. And what we want to do with that, where's this first ball? Hold on. Sorry. Make sure this one's in the right position. I think I lost a ball by accident here. Alright, so basically you find the first ball in the progression, right? That's the first ball that shows up. Then I click on the first face of Shaq here, turn it on, hold Command, click that first one. So now I have both of those selected. Once they're both selected like that, I'm going to right click and say merge those layers. So now the first ball and the head are on the same layer. And then I'm going to go to find the second ball. So I'm going to hide this. I might have combined the wrong ones there for a moment. Sorry. Let's make sure we got this in order here. That's the first ball. That's the second ball. Good. Third ball. Fourth ball. Take the eyeball off the bottom layer not to get confused by it. I'm just trying to get the order correct here. Alright, let's be sure we got it all right here. This should be the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one. So layer 2 comes in between here. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, so this one, layer 2 copy. Plus, I hold Command and I grab layer 1, right click, and merge those two together. Then hide it. Then take this one, turn the eyeball on, hold Command, grab layer 1 copy from the head, turn the eyeball on, right click, merge. Close that one. So, and what you could do to let yourself know that you've completed those is you could right click and give them a color. So these are the red ones that I've finished as I finish them. Then I go to this one, turn the eyeball on, right, hold Command, click this head, turn the eyeball on, right click, merge. Right click, red, so we know that we did it already. So then it's this one now, and hold Command, grab this one, right click, merge, red. Alright, we're almost done. We're going to just kind of keep going through. Grab these two, merge, make them red. Red. This one, this one. I think I'm getting them. Some of them are behind his head, obviously, so I'm not even seeing them once I do them here. Now you can see the head, so these two. Alright. And then I got one extra ball here at the end, and that can go kind of at the top. I'm going to get rid of that one, actually, just to show you. Alright, so if they match up right now, and I was to undo the animation, delete the animation, and then in the timeline down here, make frames from animation, from layers again, sorry. Just like that, and you were to play this back now, see how the ball moves and he moves at the same time. So start off with the one of just the face, and then add that extra element if you want basically extra credit and the best grade possible. 2 elements moving at the same time. You do more than that and you're ensuring yourself a fantastic grade by doing more than one animated little flipbook kind of digital animation all at the same time in the one document.